Heroclix 2017 Powers tutorial coming right up. Hey, welcome back! If you're new to the channel and you want to not only outwit the competition, but perplex up your Heroclix IQ, make sure to Hulk smash that subscribe button and also the bell notification so that you can be sure to see my Heroclix videos every time they become available.
Alright guys, so today we're going to go ahead and take a look at the Heroclix speed power known as Force Blast. Force Blast is designated by this purple coloration over the character's movement value. Force Blast reads Knockback, power, roll a d6, a target adjacent opposing character is knocked back equal to the result. Alright guys, so there's two parts of that power. The one is knockback, which is a separate term, and that reads when one or more opposing characters takes damage from this character's attack, you may choose to knock back all hit characters an amount equal to the damage clicked. So you can choose to knock a character back that many squares if they took that amount of damage. So let's go ahead and look at this little scenario here with Hat and Arclight. So they start off at 1 square apart. Hat goes ahead and targets Arclight. We're going to be ignoring defensive powers for the purpose of this demonstration. So we're going to go ahead and just pretend that Hat attacks Arclight and went ahead and made the attack. And because of that, since Arclight took 2 damage, Arclight was knocked back 2 squares because Hat chose to have her knocked back. He can choose to not knock her back if he wanted to, but in this case he chose to. And in this next scenario, we take a look at the power action to activate Force Blast. So what we are here is we have Hat and Arclight adjacent to each other. Hat again decides to roll a d6, and using a power action to do so, rolls a 3. And that results in Arclight being knocked back 3 squares. Alright, and at this time it's important to note that there are 2 powers that make it so that you can't be knocked back. And those powers are Charge, which is designated by a green coloration on a character's movement, and Combat Reflexes, which is designated by a light lime green coloration on a character's defensive value. So some other things that we need to cover if we're going to be covering Knockback and Force Blast are what happens if you get knocked back into a wall because of knockback. So in this scenario, we're going to pretend that Arclight is trying to knock Hat back into this square of blocking terrain. So she's going to roll a d6, and basically at this point any result she gets will knock back Hat into the blocking terrain. And when you get knocked back into blocking terrain and you can't move anymore, so let's take an example where, you know, if you were 2 squares away from a square blocking terrain, your opponent rolls a 3, and you get knocked back your 2 squares, and that third one you can't move back. You take 1 click of damage for running into that wall. And the other thing to note is if you get knocked off of elevated terrain. So in this example, Hat is going to attack Arclight. Again, we're ignoring defensive powers for right this second. He attacks and makes the attack. And because he made the attack roll, he chose to have her knocked back 2 squares, so she gets knocked back 2 squares, and then she takes 2 extra clicks of damage for falling after she gets knocked back, because fall damage is 2 clicks. Alright guys, so that's all for this Heroclix Powers tutorial for Force Blast. Go ahead and put in the comments below maybe the next power you'd like to see me cover, or if you'd like to maybe see some live play of me using Force Blast, or maybe even a team that features Force Blast, so you guys can see that. Go ahead and put that in the comments below. As always, please remember that it's only critical miss if you don't have probability control.